Hey everyone, welcome to this technical breakdown of our innovative n8n scraping solution. Today, I'm excited to introduce a powerful workflow we've developed that reliably scrapes restaurant menus from websites, allowing you to analyze price changes, identify trends in new menu items, and extract valuable market insights. While we're showcasing this with restaurant menus, it's important to note that this solution isn't limited to the hospitality industry. The same workflow can be adapted to scrape pricing data from e-commerce sites, track product specifications across competitors, monitor service offerings in any sector, or capture any regularly updated web content across virtually any industry. If you're new to the channel, my name is Chris. I'm the co-founder of Tech. I hold a bachelor's degree in data science, and my journey with AI started about 2 years ago. For the past 2 years, we've been building custom data and AI solutions for our clients. In just a moment, my co-founder and Tech CTO, Luca, will take you through exactly how we built this scraping system using n8n's workflow automation capabilities. You'll see how it can transform tedious manual data collection into a streamlined, automated process that saves countless hours of work. What's even more exciting is that you can take this exact build and sell it as a service to businesses that would benefit from this data. Companies are willing to pay good money for competitive intelligence that helps them optimize pricing strategies, identify market gaps, and stay ahead of industry trends, all without the technical hassle of building scraping tools themselves. Let's dive in and see how this scraper can give you or your clients a competitive edge through data-driven insights.
Hi, my name is Luca, and I'm going to be showing you how you can build an automation on n8n to scrape anything, and what tools you need then to query the data that you have scraped. So we'll get straight into it here. We're going to create a new workflow on n8n called pricing analysis. We can just start with a trigger, which is click to test, which means we control whenever it starts. We just click test workflow. And then straight from there, we're going to do a HTTPS request. We're just going to leave that blank for the moment. And what we're going to do is duplicate it and put another one here. So we're going to use the example of restaurants today and how we can scrape all of their menu information from an Uber Eats site and then query the data to compare prices, see what meals are doing well for one restaurant and not for the other. So this is a great tool that you can sell to any restaurant, fast food outlet, franchise that wants to compare against their competitors and get really valuable insights. Okay, so once we've got these 3 nodes created, we're going to open up another platform called Gina.ai. Now, you've probably seen a million scraping videos on YouTube. So have I, and I've tried most of them. So this is the one that I find works well. So the first thing you need to do is create your API key. You can do that up here by just clicking add key, and then we will go to reader. Great. Now, once we're at this page, we need to get whatever web page it is that we want to scrape. So we'll go to Uber Eats. And today we'll do some chicken shops. Okay, great. So we're literally just going to get the URL from that site, go back into Gina.ai, take out this example, paste it in. And the only change, well, make sure add API key for reader rate limit is on. And then the only other change that you're going to make is we're going to turn on stream mode. What stream mode basically does is it waits for all the data on a website to render. Sometimes when it goes on stream the page and there's, not everything's loaded in the page and you get half the content, which is obviously not great. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to turn on stream mode, and then up here, we can first test it out to get the response. And then up here, we're going to press copy in the top right corner, and that'll copy the CURL. We'll just wait for the data to come back to make sure that it's accurate. Great. So as you can see there, we've got loads of information, which is perfect. Great. So then we're going to turn this get to post and then copy the URL just like that back into our n8n workflow. And in the top one, we're going to go to post, import. There we go. Import. Great. And then we have all the information there. And then we're going to go back to Uber Eats and get our second shop, which today we're going to do chicken chops. Great. So again, literally just get the URL from there, back over to Gina, paste it in there. And then this should be bird box. Yes. Keep it on post, all the same settings. Copy back in here over to this one again to post, import. Great. Okay, we'll save that and we'll just test the workflow quickly. Great. So as you can see here, we've got the 2 results. It's all in a very long text format, which isn't very useful. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and name these nodes. So rename, we'll just say scrape, wing drop, and Scrape bird box. Great. The next thing we're going to do is add an information extractor. So we're going to add one here, and everything we're doing here, we're duplicating. So pop another one down there. We have to add a model to this. I like to use OpenAI. Let's go with 4.0. And let's put the temperature to 0.0. This just means we're limiting the creativity of the AI. We don't need any creativity. We needed to extract the information. We're going to do the same with this. If you haven't already added your OpenAI account, it's super simple. There is great docs in the top right corner that you can follow and add your API to the account. Great. Okay, so under schema type, we want to go to define below. What we're basically doing here is telling our information extractor what format to output the data in and what data to get. So here, as you can see, a type, object, property, state. I have a pre-made schema made up that I'm going to pop into here. So in my schema, I have already made it out on Claude by giving Claude the data that comes from the scraping the web and then telling it what information I want. As you can see here, the title is bird box menu schema. It should be wing drop menu schema. And then we're getting the item, the price. You can see as type, string, description, name of the item menu, rating, description, and brand. And that is brand is going to be a constant of wing drop. And here, output all data from, and then we're bringing this over. There we go. To make sure it's an expression there when you're doing that. And then we're going to copy this again. Go down below, and it'll be the same thing here, except the constant here is bird box, and here is bird box. Great. And then perfect. There we go. Let's name these. Great. Okay. So now let's test these. And what we should get now is a very neat format of all the items that are in the menu. You can do this with almost any site, whether it's Amazon products, whether it's books, whether it's cars. You will need to play around with the schema a little bit, but that's why, things like Claude are very handy for explaining a different scenario and adjusting your automation to that. So as you can see here, this is great. We've got all the item menus all the way down to sparkling water. Fantastic. And for this one, great. And now it's loaded for all of the bird box items as well. Great. So we've named these now and they're all working well. Just to add some little protection, what you can do is create a system prompt template. I have created one that I've used before that works really well. If you'd like to say you are an expert extraction algorithm, extract all menu information from the text. If you do not know the value of an attribute as to extract, you may omit the attributes value. Always output data in JSON array called results. Each item should have item, price, rating, and description. Great, fantastic. So let's also pop that in here. Great. Okay, that just adds a little bit of protection. Now, this is quite simple, like I suppose this scraping method, but if you're doing something a lot more complex and you want to give your AI model more context as to what it's scraping and what the rules are, then that system prompt template is very good. Okay, great. So once we have put in our system prompt template, named everything, it's all looking neat, we've tested everything, we're going to add in a split out. And all we're doing here is literally just writing output in that field. And we're going to do the same down here. This is just splitting it out into all different items, which comes in handy. So look, if we try this, it just puts it into a neat little format and should do the same here when it all loads. And great. So as you can see, it did the same there for that one. And then what we're going to do with all of this data is merge. So we're going to go to append and to, just as it is, merge these together. And if we go test here, what we're basically doing here is merging all the data together so that we can neatly put it into the Google Sheet to then analyze. Great, so you can see this has worked, and we've got 83 items altogether, so that'll be in between, Wingdrop might have more items than Bird Box, for example. Fantastic, so once that's all done, so what we're going to do then is go into Google Sheets and just create a very simple sheet like this, which has brand, product, price, rating, description. You can even do item there if you want, because it seems a little bit off brand. Okay, fantastic. So once that's made up, we go back over to n8n, and we're going to put on a Google Sheets node here, and it's going to append row in sheet. There we go. And we're going to create our credential here. Great. So once our credential is created, we're going to go to pricing analysis new, whatever sheet, whatever you named your sheet in Google Sheets, sheet 1. And then here we have brands, products, price, rating. I don't need to talk out loud for this, don't think. You can see what I'm doing. Oh, sorry. Do this one again. And description. Great. And then, so once you have Google Sheets added to the end, we can test the full workflow, and we should end up with some lovely looking menu data in a Google Sheets ready to query. Okay, so as you can see, the Google Sheets is just finishing up. If we check here, okay, great. Now this isn't a very neat looking database, I suppose, but you can obviously style it whichever way you want. The important part is that you've got brand, product, price, rating, description, and all of the relevant info of the menu. Great. So now we're going to move on to how do we query this data and really put this data to use. Okay, so then as we move up the page, we're going to create a chatbot to query our data. So we're going to start with a chat trigger, and we're going to bring that up here. And then we're going to connect that to an AI agent. Fantastic. Okay. And then for chat model, we're actually going to go with O3 Mini just to try it out for the video. I always use GPT-4o, but in this case, let's try it out and see how it works. Okay, and then the first tool we're going to add is a calculator. Very simple. You don't need to do anything with it. It's just a calculator. And then the second tool we're going to add is Google Sheets. And in here, very simple, we're just going to pick the sheet that we have, and it's going to be get rows. That's it. For this, we'll set it to read all menu data, and we're going to change the name to get all menu. I think I've made out a prompt already. I think this is what I called it. We'll double check. Then in here, we'll go to system message, turn it to expression. I always just turn it to expression so I can open this full screen. I'll paste in my prompt. So what we're doing is they say you are an AI assistant expert on restaurant menus stored in Google Sheet. Your primary goal is to answer user questions about menu items accurately and concisely based on full context of the menu. Core strategy, get all data first and refer back. Hesitation rule, so get all menu data. Yeah, that's what it's called. We have calculator isn't with a 1. Calculator is just on its own. Like here, the prompt is basically telling it how to get the menu data, and then if it needs to use calculators such as calculating prices, how to do that. If you want to pause this and copy this prompt, again, the template will be free and it'll be below this video, so you can directly get the prompt from there. I go off this. So this was obviously an error that I did. Well, not an error, I suppose. I made out the prompt when I was testing it out, and the tool is called Calculator 1. Now, I'm going to keep this in the video because it's really important when you'll be testing stuff in different workflows, bring them over, and to make sure that, basically to make sure that everything's accurate. These kind of things you need to look out for. Okay, fantastic. So if we save that, and then if we chat with our model and say, um, what's the price difference between the brands chicken tenders? Now, this works for how much data we have. If you just want to query a little bit of data, this is a great way to kind of get started. I know vector store tools are more accurate and probably faster, but if you're just beginning in AI, then it's important to don't take too much of a leap and try to do like the biggest RAG system that you can. Just learn the simple things, how to build them, how to query your data, and you can build on it. So this is a really good way of starting out learning how to query your data before you move on to much more complicated things. So based on the full menu data, Wingdrop offers 5 tenders at 11.49, while Bird Box offers at 6.95. Using the calculator, the price difference is $4.54. Okay, so I don't, disclaimer, I don't work for Bird Box. What ideas should we use from Wingdrop? And then, as you can see here, it gives us loads of really good insights as to what Wingdrop's doing that we're not. We've got the ratings there, so I'll say, well, which of the items that we aren't doing are rated highly. And then, of course, if you've got a client that you're using an automation like this for, you can build up the data over time. And then after 3 months, you can start tracking, price changes, all sorts of trends, the menus, what flavors are they adding, what's working well, as you can see by the ratings. It can be a really useful tool for restaurants. And yeah, great to, an easy thing to build out that does actually provide value. So based on the full menu data, it appears none of the Wingdrop items except for, so this response is a bit weird, and I have just realized why. So we haven't added in a memory node into our build. And so I just said that without any context. It didn't get the context that I was trying to get things about Wingdrop. So that is quite important if you want your bot to have conversational memory. So in here, we're going to put a simple memory, and it'll already have session ID mapped into it. So we can add that, and now it will have context as to, do I work at Wingdrop, Bird Box, whatever questions I'm asking. So let's try that again. Okay, so now we'll test it. I will say, hey, I work at Wingdrop. I'm looking to get insights as to what we can do better. First, give me 3 items that Bird Box are doing that work well. We could be a lot more specific with our wording and the task, but we can leave that up to AI for the moment. Great. So it's given us ideas here: the signature chicken burger, the barbecue brisket loaded fries. It includes ratings, how many reviews it's been left on it, and the aged low buffalo chicken wrap. That sounds nice. This wrap has a perfect 100% rating. Okay. Are we more expensive on any items? Based on the full menu, they said there are a few things Wingdrop's price is slightly higher than Bird Box. So okay, and then it starts comparing similar items in the menu. So here you can see the Wingdrop burger is priced at $9.49, and the Bird Box signature chicken burger is $7.25, $2.24 in the difference. Bundle for one. So it's created a meal deal for one person, and then a can of Coke at the end. So we're a bit more expensive on the can of Coke as well. So as you can see here, you've got a very simple automation. It will take you an hour to build this. Yeah, very effective solution that you can apply to almost any industry, whether it's a clothing industry, a restaurant industry like we've just done, or a bookshop, for example. Everyone's looking to compare against their competitors, and offering a solution like this that completely streamlines that with them being able to query the data all just by typing could be very useful. If you would like us to do another video on how to query more data, such as 50,000 records rather than 100, let us know, drop a comment and we'll get to that. Yeah. Apart from that, have a great day.
And there you have it, our n8n menu scraping solution in action thanks to Luca's expert breakdown. As you've seen, this workflow transforms hours of manual data collection into an automated process that delivers valuable pricing insights. Remember, while we focused on restaurants today, this same approach works for any industry where tracking competitors' pricing or offerings matters. This solution is perfect for those looking to offer high-value data services to clients who need competitive intelligence without building technical solutions themselves. If you found this helpful, check out our other templates and subscribe for more automation solutions. Thanks for watching, and we can't wait to see how you'll use this scraper to create value for yourself or your clients.